Eagles Nation, brace yourself. They're going to start talking. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you. And I am the best reporting on the Eagles. We just lost week 2 to the Atlanta Falcons. Congratulations to the Atlanta Falcons for, defending home field. You know what I mean? Making sure they come out of there with the W and not letting us take them out in their home. They're going to start talking. Right now, they're talking right now. I see the notifications going off crazy for me. But what is a $100 million quarterback supposed to do? A $100 million quarterback is supposed to make sure that he keeps the franchise. No, if all else fails, you got a $100 million quarterback, and he's supposed to make sure that you stay in a position to be able to win the game. And that's what Carson Wentz did. Despite it looking ugly, Carson Wentz didn't wake up out of his bed and expect for Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey to not play and Dallas Goedert to not play. 3 very reliable pass catchers. In fact, he had to turn lemons into lemonade to keep the game close and still was able to take a 23-20 lead. Was still able to take a lead and convert a 2-point conversion to make it a 3-point game. Despite not having his main targets in the passing game. Oh, that's not even where it stops. Didn't have a running game at all. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm not impressed with Miles Dancers. I can't even call him by his last name until he stopped dancing so damn much and pick a hole and hit one. Running game was completely non-existent. Completely non-existent. Now everybody who plays football and watch football knows that they were going to clean up the run defense based upon them getting gashed by the Minnesota Vikings last week. But the run game was non-existent tonight. Carson Wentz could have used some help from the run game. Carson Wentz out there making almost impossible throws, being tackled from behind, hitting guys, keeping drives alive. Nelson Aguilar drops the game-winning touchdown, redeems himself on another ball that Carson put out there for him while being corralled. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not disappointed at Carson Wentz at all. I'm really not disappointed in the team as a whole. If it's somebody that I'm disappointed in, I would have to say it's the medical staff. I would have to say it's the medical staff and the training staff. What is happening behind the scenes to where key players are sore before game time? What's happening? That's weird. That's weird that all three of those guys are unable to go. 2 guys with a calf and 1 guy with a hamstring. Now, I've been around a lot of NFL locker rooms. Well, I've been around a lot of football locker rooms. Now, usually when stuff like that happens, it seems to me like it's disciplinary. Maybe the guys went out, partied too much, missed curfew, and they said, you know what, I'm going to sit you for the game. Because there's no way that guys can come from out of a game healthy, practice a little bit. You lose a little practice time when you go to a travel game, when you go away. So basically, you in a hotel, you relaxing way more than you would be when you're like in Philly, I'm guessing. And Dallas Goedert, Deshaun Jackson, and Alshon Jeffrey out of nowhere. It just ain't sit right with me, man. It ain't sit right with me, man. A lot of things could have been different. I'm still not liking our first quarter offense at all. I'm not liking if these players are scripted in the beginning of the game, I hate them. I hate them. It makes absolutely no sense. You know what I'm saying? Like Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard are not running the ball with urgency. Carson Wentz had a couple bad interceptions in this game, but those interceptions can be contributed to him not having his usual receivers. The one where Trevant was laying on the ground looked like somebody was supposed to be there, but they wasn't there. That comes from repetition. That comes from reps and time and with the number 1 quarterback. And Carson Wentz, despite all that, erased the deficit. Erased it. How long did you think the defense was going to hold up? We gave drives away. We gave 3 drives away. 3 drives away we gave up and didn't even know what we could have got out of those drives. One being the fumble on special teams with Corey Clement, whom I don't like returning punts now. I just didn't like the thought. I didn't like it from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And the 2 interceptions by Carson Wentz. But didn't we get 3 interceptions? The game was winnable. That's the bottom line. The game was winnable. We weren't out-coached. You know what I'm saying? Jim Schwartz actually called a pretty good game. Rasul Douglas redeemed himself from the Redskins game. They picked on Ronald Darby. He tightened up after the second half and redeemed himself. But at the end of the day, they used our aggressiveness against us. On the bubble screen of Julio Jones, we were all rushing towards the middle to put pressure on Matt Ryan. Nobody was there to contain Julio Jones, and there you have it. Julio Jones gets the game-winning touchdown. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not disappointed in Carson Wentz at all. With 2 minutes left, 2 timeouts, and the world watching Sunday Night Football, he still was able to put his team in position. Came a half a yard short of Zach Ertz stretching out or making a guy miss to get that first down. I'm not disappointed in Carson Wentz's performance at all. I'm not disappointed in the defense's performance at all. I'm not disappointed in the offense's performance at all because they did what they had to do. I'm telling you, this falls on medical staff and training staff. It's their job to make sure guys are ready to go. I don't understand how all 3 of those guys could suit up and did not play. That's not weird. All 3 of these guys could suit up and don't play. If Carson Wentz would have won this game, I know it's a big if. This would have been the most impressive game of Carson Wentz's career with the 2 interceptions. Because he did what a $100 million quarterback is supposed to do. I challenge anybody to lose their first and second option in the deep passing game, you know what I'm saying, and still be able to put your team in a position to win. Nobody can't do that. A lot of people can't do that. Only elite quarterbacks can do that. Only elite quarterbacks can still find a way. So this should answer a lot of questions if Carson Wentz is elite or not. I know the stats don't look pretty on this game, but the elite quarterbacks find ways to win games. Every game not going to be pretty. Every game not going to be roses. So at the end of the day, I think Carson Wentz did exactly what he should have did, being placed in that position, having Nelson Aguilar as your number 1 receiver. You know what I'm saying? He did what he had to do. We move on to the Detroit Lions. I'll look over the tape again, and we can assess. But I'm not disappointed in my team. I don't think any Eagles fan should be disappointed in this loss. Obviously, we had key players that didn't play. Injuries were happening left and right in the middle of the game. You know what I mean? Teams are going to continue to pick on our wide receivers as long as we play the way we're playing. You know what I'm saying? And I think Jim Schwartz is on to something now. I seen a change in Jim Schwartz today. I think Jim Schwartz realized that I'm going to just bring pressure. I'm going to bring pressure. I have to bring pressure because they can't pick up this type of pressure that I'm going to bring. We had free runners running that Matt Ryan, and you know, but we came so close to Carson Wentz still pulling it out without his weapons. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.